Hello, everyone. My name is the Enlightened One, and I'm the star of this damn show, Wrestling with the Paranormal. And today, you're gonna learn all about peanut butter and pickle sandwiches, filthy photobomb, magic tricks, and the Blackbird of Chernobyl. Who the fuck put those masks on the window now? I am my agent.
Is it me, or does that guy get angrier every week?
He gets upset at little things, but he didn't notice it right away. But I think he clued in to the Enlightened One masks on your windowsill.
Oh, they've been there a while.
So I think he was upset that Liam the Magician is stealing his gimmick.
I'm not stealing, I'm borrowing.
Yes, you're just portraying him on your side of the window, right?
There you go. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah. So welcome everyone to Wrestling with the Paranormal.
The only paranormal podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans.
So we got a big show today.
We have.
What do we got on the docket? Read it all through.
Dan, we've got magic tricks. We've got the effing wrestling galaxy. We've got a ghost photo bomb, and then we're heading to Chernobyl.
Okay, you missed the peanut butter and pickle sandwich.
I was trying to actually purposely miss it because I'm not a peanut butter fan.
You're gonna like this. So let's bring George in.
Hey, George.
Hey, George. And
hello.
Let's play the clip. This is Around the Effing Galaxy, where we talk about wrestling. We talk about photos and pictures that people have sent to us. And we're adding a new little segment called The Vault. This week we're going to reach into the vault and see what's there. And now, we were talking on the show yesterday about peanut butter pickle sandwiches. Let's see if you can get that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to show you that it's a good sandwich.
Oh, dear.
I only get half a sandwich.
Poser, those are gummies. Poser, those are gum.
I have pickles, man.
Damn it.
So good.
I thought we were going to watch him eat
Those
the
are
whole
gummies.
thing.
Those weren't real pickles.
Maybe right up I get hungry.
Oh, dear. That's how we're starting the show?
No,
a peanut butter sandwich?
No, you guys, not peanut butter and pickles. It needs that crunch.
Okay.
It has to have the pickle. You need to have those little soft pickles. You got to have crunchy pickles.
Mm.
So I'm gonna challenge one of you to eat a peanut butter and pickle sandwich on one of the shows one of these days.
He didn't say which show, but that's all right.
This show. You want to do it on Magic of Wrestling? I don't care.
I could do, could not.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
So, what do we got in the Effing Galaxy today?
Well, apparently WWE officials are worried about Randy Orton. Why, you ask? Well, WWE officials were concerned that Orton might need surgery, which will rule him out for the rest of the year. Riddle mentioned that he's having a hard time with his back recently. What do we think?
We think that George does not like this topic at all. Joseph Graham says peanut butter pickle is a Canadian thing. It's not really a Canadian thing, but I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I my family's always enjoyed a peanut butter pickle sandwich. George, what do you think on the Randy Orton thing? Have you heard any of this?
A little bit, but I always kind of thought he was going to be out more towards the rest of the year anyway. And besides that thing that's going on where he has to almost have a trial because of some of the tattoos he has on,
That's right.
which is kind of weird.
He does have a legal battle with that. We're waiting for it too, noob. We are waiting for Natalia Markova to come on the All Up in Wrestling show. We have to clear it with her agent when she's free. She's got matches booked all over the time. She's a very busy woman, so we just have to make sure the slot is free and she'll be on the show. Not this show, but one of the shows on her channel.
Sorry, can you imagine Natalia Markova on Wrestling with the Paranormal?
No, it's not. We kind of need her to have a paranormal story. You can come on the show anytime.
Absolutely. But yeah, sticking with the Randy Orton thing, George, what do we reckon?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. I feel like if he does need surgery, probably just more time off, a bit better, especially since some others are going to be back possibly the earliest at the end of this year or definitely Royal Rumble time, which I feel like is probably a bit better. But I don't know.
Thank you, Joseph Graham, for clarifying. Randy Orton isn't getting sued. The tattoo artist is suing WWE 2K for using the art without his consent. That's interesting. Let's talk about that for a sec. Okay, so I get a tattoo. That tattoo I paid for now belongs to me.
Yep.
So if I become a big superstar, a big, with these podcasts take off and I become a household name and my things are showing, like he can't sue the podcast because I paid money for him to do that art.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Right?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a confusing one with that one, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I don't understand why he's getting sued on that, but Canada's right. What's your opinion on this with Randy Orton?
So what is the report saying?
It's saying that if it possibly needs surgery, it would rule him out for the rest of the year. It's not yet confirmed if he needs surgery, but there's a worry that
he's not coming back for WrestleMania.
No.
So quite a long time.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's my point, Joseph. It's a tricky situation because you're basically commissioning the artist to create it. So once I pay that money, it becomes mine. Like if I buy a painting and I show it on my TV show and the TV show does really well, I don't got to pay the artist nothing because I bought it already. It's silly.
But I think I think it's just a typical, let's just try and sue him for some money because that's just what people do.
It's like, the baby from the Nirvana album?
Yes.
He tried suing the Nirvana and the music, what are they called? The studios or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
The label?
Yes, the label. And it didn't work because, they got paid for the picture, and you didn't know how big it was going to be when the parents agreed to this photo. So you're not getting any back pay because a model is getting the rate at which they deserve at the time, right?
Yep, I think that's pretty much well said on that one.
Okay, moving along. What do we got next?
So, there's a backstage report involving Bandido. Now, what is this report? He's maybe offered an AEW contract. I've not seen the match this week.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
No.
Why?
Because I'm in the UK. Obviously, I don't get to see the shows till Friday. So
okay, so this is interesting. So, you are going to watch tomorrow, maybe?
Tomorrow, before I head to 1PW, I'll be catching up.
So you got a meet and greet with Jamie Hayter as well, right?
I have. It was originally supposed to be obviously Ruby Soho, but of course she obviously is injured after a thing with Ty. So it was obviously replaced with Jamie Hayter, which I'm super excited for because she's actually British.
So getting back to the Bandido thing, that match was so good. I loved it. I've never seen Bandido before, and I don't fall in love with wrestlers right away. It takes me a bit to, but Bandido, I was like, this guy is awesome. He's pure fire. And so AEW, after that match, they offered him a contract, whether he signs it or not, because sometimes they don't want to be tied down. I believe they offered Warhorse a contract, and he didn't take it.
Yes, and now he's in MLW, I believe.
So we'll see what happens with Warhorse a little later. Do you think that he's going to take the contract, George?
In my heart, I really hope he does. He's just a phenomenal luchador wrestler and just a general great talent pickup that AEW does not want to miss, because he could easily just go somewhere else and probably do just as good as he did there as he might have or not have in AEW. So
yes, we would love this. we would all be ecstatic. I think I would cry, noob.
Yes. That would be a nice little moment.
I'd love to see Bandido versus Rey Fenix.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. That would be a match and a half.
Bandido even versus Pac would be killer.
I think any of the Death Triangle would be a killer match.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move along.
So, obviously, over the past couple of weeks, we've been speaking, of course, about Malaki Black. Now, obviously, there was a lot of reports saying he's heading back to WWE, sorry. He's pretty much come out on, I think it's Instagram, and pretty much put the things to bed. Now, if I remember rightly, we've got a clip.
Yes, we have a clip. Let's show it. If you have never seen it before, here it is.
Anyway, I will see you guys in a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months. Like I said, I'm only taking some time off. That's it. Just taking some time off. That's it. There's no conspiracy to this. Just taking some time off. All right? I will see you guys soon. Take care of yourself. Stop believing any other narrative. Like right now, I've debunked it. There's nothing going on. Don't believe these people. Yeah? Don't write opinion. Don't believe it. Nothing. I'm fine. I'm going to be fine. Everything is fine. You'll see me right back with AEW pretty soon. I'm just going to take some time. That's it. And guys, last thing before I leave, don't make me some instrument for this whole tribalism, us versus them thing, because I don't do that stuff. I don't do the whole Team AEW versus Team W. I don't play that. To me, this is a business. Like this is generally like a business in the sense of the word that it's a business. This is my job. This is what I do for a living. This is how I've made my living for the past 12, 13 years of my life. I've been in this business since the 2000s, right? Okay. So thank you for those who have been supportive of me. Thank you for your nice messages.
Well, it's George. Oh, Jesus Christ. I just saw the kind of dry still eating his sandwich.
I had to finish it. It was so good.
So, yeah, I think with this, it was kind of like, we knew this was going to happen because there was so many reports saying he was heading back to WWE. So
I haven't heard this. Joseph Graham saying that people were sending threats to this man. Like what?
I do not know this one either.
Please tell us more, Joseph, if you know what else with the threats. I'm happy. We'll see more of the House of Black. Buddy Murphy seems like he's going off to deal with some papers in Australia.
Yeah, it seems like Julia Hart might be out after that table bump as well. So
she tweeted she's fine.
Ooh, I've not seen that tweet.
I guess she her athletic background saved her ass a bit, because if that happened to me, I'd be half dead.
You'd hit your other arm.
Like I break my arm jogging. So imagine me in the wrestling ring. What would happen to me? right?
Oh dear.
So who would we call your
That'd be in
ghost
a
persona?
fight. Hmm?
So
I
if
mean,
you were to show up to this show half dead, who would your ghost persona be called?
the half dead man.
The half enlightened one.
I'm not the dead man. I'm the half dead man.
Half dead, like half. I'd be half ghost and like painted like a half ghost, and then the rest would be like so.
Dear.
Joseph says people sending death threats over maybe going to W or not going to W. So yeah, like the tribalism. Let's talk about that for a sec before we move on to our final part of the wrestling section.
I'm kind of sick and tired of obviously like people saying like taking like shots at each other. I mean, how many times do they get referenced on like either show? I mean, it's a good time to be a wrestling fan. Just like the products, what's out there. To be honest.
Well,
Yeah.
if WWE puts on a good show, I'm gonna watch.
Mm-hmm.
If AEW puts on a good show, I'm gonna watch. If maybe Impact makes itself more available to watch, I'm gonna watch. If NWA puts on good matches, I'm gonna watch. So there you go.
The biggest gripe I believe I have about this is now, for example, Malachi and Buddy Matthews are signed longer in their contracts, and it's like they just want time off, whether that be to basically regroup, as we've kind of seen, and others. And I kind of feel like Malachi basically just took this chance to, I guess, throw the rumors out the window and speculations and stuff, because maybe he's probably like, I just need time off, and everyone's blowing this out of proportion.
It's making it
And
worse for him, right?
yeah, and this is like the biggest gripe I have. Not everyone needs to, like, this isn't an excuse for him that he's using. He's obviously said that to just try and get out of his contract and other stuff. And so what if later people want to go to different promotions? They can if they want to, because they're available.
Yeah.
And I
So-
don't see where people don't get that, but
All right, so moving right along, I found a wrestling topic. What is it?
So, on the recent episode of AEW Unrestricted, of course, the Demo God was obviously in the hot seat. Now, he obviously had a lot to say. So,
I've been waiting forever for him to be on there. Now he's finally on there. So I guess I'll have to watch that.
yeah, it's a pretty good thing here. But obviously, there was some big talking points. The first one is obviously his exit from WWE. Now, I do believe we've got an article on this on the
Yeah, we have it on FNWrestling.com.
So it was. I was kind of surprised with these comments. I mean, George, what did you reckon with these?
some of them were a bit surprising, but I do kind of agree because, well, I remember one of the main points was, I guess that led Jericho to go to New Japan instead of stay with WWE. Jericho is one of your biggest big name stars that you have in your company, and you don't give him as much as a call back or something, or try and keep him. I feel that's kind of like a huge blow to the star that you have there. Like right before you,
I
especially.
would have liked to be a fly on the wall when Vince McMahon kept offering him a little bit more money, and then there was a significant more money in the last offer. And Jericho says, "Well, yeah, I did that deal, but I want to be able to do this match with Kenny Omega because it's a chance in a lifetime."
Mm-hmm.
And I think Vince McMahon was disappointed at that moment.
I think he was kind of pissed off.
Yeah, he was pissed off that Jericho wanted to do the Omega match.
But the thing is, it was a great match. I mean,
well, there was talk of him replacing. I don't even remember Miro's old name in WWE. Rusev, replacing Rusev in that casket match with Undertaker. But ultimately, he was just his last match in WWE was at the Saudi show.
Yeah, that is true. Very well. And then obviously there was two more talking points. One of them was Jericho said that he doesn't want to face all the top guys in AEW. He doesn't want to face like Omega. He wants to face like the guys who we can like help build. What do you reckon to these comments?
I think ideally he wants to do this, but it doesn't always work out.
No, it doesn't. This is where I was raising my eyebrow with this one.
Yeah. Can you smell what the magician is cooking?
George, what did you reckon with that?
I do agree. I don't really see where this works out well that too much, especially since I do get if he's already faced all the top stars, yeah, but
Well, he kind of does it where he did that with Orange Cassidy, but Orange Cassidy was already big.
Yeah,
he was big, but then towards the end of that feud, everything kind of died off, and he kind of went back to meh, Orange Cassidy, whatever.
Yeah, well said. And the last one was, which I thought was interesting. He said that during WCW, when he was there, one of their biggest mistakes was facing like Lex versus Hogan or Lex versus the Warrior so many times that people got bored of it. When you had like an undercard with Jericho, and then didn't mix them up with like the top guys. He says that was one of their downfalls, which I kind of agree with.
Yeah, they didn't make new stars very well. Like they didn't promote. Like Jericho was huge in WCW still. Like everyone was hanging on his every word, but he could only go as far as the TV title, and then that's it. I don't know. Did he win the US title too?
I think he did once. I'm not too sure on that one.
I know he won the TV title in AEW, but I'm not sure about the US title. So if you know about that, let us know. Which brings me to what we're going to talk about on Sunday at the All Effin' Wrestling show.
Ooh.
We have a roundtable discussing the Monday Night Wars. And one of the biggest drops in the Monday Night Wars was not having Bret versus Hogan.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
The one time they wasted it on a Monday Night Nitro, where Bret Hart had befriended Sting, and it was going to be Sting. It was going to be Bret Hart versus Hogan, and Sting came in to make the save. Hogan was doing something illegal, and Bret Hart turned on Sting, and it was a ruse all along. So they wasted that match. So stuff like that really screwed WCW.
Yeah, I think you could do a whole episode of what went wrong there. I mean, I can think of probably 4 reasons already.
Well, the other thing is Eric Bischoff said that that Hulk Hogan didn't want a match with Bret Hart in WCW. Who cares what Hulk Hogan wants? He's fucking your company. Like, get this match on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, nobody cares. Hulk Hogan must take the pin. Bret will go over.
Well, not even. The match just needs to happen.
Yeah.
But Bret can lose. It's okay. But make the match happen. Make people pay money for it.
There you go. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And that wrapped up our effing wrestling news.
Now we're going to move on to the Vault. We don't have an intro for that. Maybe we will in a week or so or something. But here it is. Now you got something from your friend?
Yes. So obviously at work, I was talking to my compliance officer, which is weird. I never thought I'd have a conversation, but the
really?
topic.
wait! I got to ask, how did this topic come up?
So we're just talking about obviously what the plans for the weekend were, and then the topic of paranormal came up, and then she mentioned that
she knows you have a show.
She does. She knows we have 2 shows actually. Okay. So obviously we mentioned that obviously we have the paranormal, and then she said, "Oh, a friend of mine's got a picture." So I politely said, "Look, if it's all right with you, we'll obviously talk about it on the show." She sent me the image, and obviously I was really surprised. I think I sent it to you as well.
Yeah, we have it available to show. So what we did is we, out of respect for the kid in the picture, we blacked out his face, and because we're shameless promoters, so we put a wrestling shirt on him. So
now you're looking more so at the back.
So look at the background, George.
Ooh, let me get close.
Where the shoes are.
Oh.
Now we're gonna do a close up.
This still makes me go cold even now.
Oh, it almost looks like he's holding a box.
Yeah, we were still trying to decipher if he's holding the
Hmm.
box. We do not know, but it's just so
We were also
creepy.
wondering if the box is on the table. Or maybe he's trying to grab the box. He's like, I'm taking. He's even leaning towards leaving with the box.
Dear.
The other thing is the unnatural standing,
Yeah, it's really, really weird.
like leaning over.
I mean, nobody can stand like that. Not even a normal person on an angle. It's just weird.
It's almost like he's trying to steal the shoes too. He's like, I'm taking this box and I'm taking the shoes.
Oh dear! But overall, what do you reckon to the image? Because it's quite an interesting one.
And he looks like he's wearing a hat.
Very, very weird.
Doesn't it look like a hat or a bandana?
I'm saying a bandana.
Kinda.
And look how skinny his arms are.
Oh shit! You're right. I've never noticed that until now.
Like skinny arms.
They got stretched out so much, he has Stretch Armstrong arms.
So yeah, definitely one of the weirdest ghost pictures I've ever seen.
Absolutely. So I'm going to shout out to my compliance officer, Keely. Thank you so much for sending us that image. And obviously, like
George,
I said,
what are your thoughts on the picture? Since you and your first time seeing it.
Definitely a bit creepy with sirens going off. Maybe they're after someone, but I don't know anyone who leans like that unless you're in WWE watching the TV and who has shoes sideways because, well, they don't fit sideways and you can't walk in them sideways. So
And he's trying to steal the shoes in the box.
there's a shoe grabber out there.
Shoe grabber in the group.
got it all now. Shoe grabber, ass grabber.
George, are you the shoe grabber? Blame it on, George. So, which brings us to your segment in the show, Georgie boy. Where the hell is it?
Do the thing, do the thing.
Do the thing. All right.
Bull or truth?
Bolo or truth?
Deal
Oh,
it
he has
is.
such a nice smile, doesn't he? Look at that smile.
Yeah, he does. What, the
That
bull
man
or
does not
truth?
age.
George, I want you to give us the best our truth smile. That is the word you looked for that movie with the people in the background. You see the smiling movie they got there with the creepy smile?
I've seen those commercials. I don't really know how
Apparently someone is being
great.
hired to do that at baseball games and different things. They're just standing there smiling the whole game. That's their job. It's that creepy
Physical.
smile. Yeah. So tell us what you got for us today. We have the magic trick. Liam is going to perform right after your story. You'll be gone because we want to give him a little bit more room on the screen.
Ooh.
That's
And
fine.
then you will come back at the end for knowledge is power.
Ooh, all right. So now this man lived a very usual normal life until one day he was strolling along and he picked up this odd-looking mask. And so he took it with him. He was looking at it and then he ended up taking it home. And then oh no.
For my mask.
I thought you were living out my story as I was saying it. But so he took it home. He gets home, and this is where the unusual things start to happen. He puts it on, and it's like he becomes a whole other person. And there were even recounts after he woke up because when he put it on, it kind of went blank for him. He has no recollection of what happened while he was wearing the mask. And so I think like any sane person would do, they would ask like, at least someone. So he asked his wife and then his children, even though they were like pretty young. And they said, "Yeah, you were doing stuff different." And so the next morning, he looks and he was finding other accounts of other past people having the same encounter. Maybe not with this exact mask, but another one, like a different one from where they're at. And so they put it on, and it's like they were a totally different person. The way they acted, what they said, and so
Now, would they
it
be able
just.
to? Were they able to date out of their pay grade? Like, were they able to date prettier girls?
Mm, I'd say they would.
Okay, carry on.
And so, the last bit piece of information is basically, the only time it kind of got done is if he kind of just chucked it to the curb, or I guess he had it for the rest of his life until he passed away. So,
No, Liam, I'm gonna defer to you on this one. I'm gonna wait for maybe see what Graham has to say.
Well, this is an interesting story, but
Benji's here. Look at this.
Benji.
no, you haven't. I'm loving that image, by the way.
Yeah. So if you're watching and you just heard George's story, let us know if it's bull or truth. But I'm gonna let Liam go.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say it's bull.
We got Joseph saying it's bull. And I'm going to even go in one further. I'm saying you literally copied one of the Mask movies.
Yes.
Maybe not Jim Carrey one, but you copied one of them.
That's the reason I said bull.
You dare.
We all got you. We don't have to wait for your answer. Did you copy one of the Mask movies, George?
Yes.
Of course,
Which one did you copy?
The second one.
Yeah, I'd say it's more the second one than the first one.
Yeah. I kind of screwed you over when I asked you if he dated out of his pay grade.
I was wondering if you were. I was wondering if you guys were going to get it, and then I seen you do. You were following along with the story.
All right, George. We'll see you at the end of the show to find out the moral of the story and knowledge is power. As you see, Liam is setting up for his magic trick. So we'll see you a little later.
All right, see y'all.
Bye-bye.
God, it's been a while since I've done a trick, so there we go.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. So, I wasn't originally going to do, obviously, a fire trick, but I didn't have a lighter.
Those are beautiful hands, by the way. Have you been a hand model before?
No, I have not.
Amazing.
Okay, so Canada's right. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to pick a number between 1 and 20, free of choice.
All right. Am I telling you or just?
You can tell me, yep.
Okay, 7.
7. Right, okay, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like that, right?
Yeah.
Simple as that. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at the 7th card, right?
Yeah.
So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? This is the card we're going to look at, right? Which is, of course, the 8 of spades, right?
Oh, I thought it was a 7. You freaked me out there. Okay, that's not the trick.
The one thing I should have mentioned is this trick, the card's already been in front of you, you've just not realised. Right? I'm going to show you the box. So you can see that.
Nothing in the box.
No, look at the lid.
I can't see it. What am I looking for?
Look at the lid when it decides to show. I fucking hate lights. Hang on. I didn't plan this out. Stupid thing.
What am I supposed to see?
There's something on the lid when it decides to light. You can see it very, very faint.
Is it a number?
Yes.
Oh, it's a 7.
It's an 8.
Oh, okay. I thought
You see it flickering in.
Yeah, I see it now.
You see it flickering in and out?
Yeah, I see the 8.
But if I go one step further.
The heart?
The
8 of
spade.
hearts.
The spade.
Sorry, I'm not good. It depends what angle you have it at, right?
You see
Yes,
it?
spade. Yep, spade.
It's on the box all along.
And that's the end of the trick.
That's the idea. The idea of the trick is you can pick a card at random, but it ends up on the box.
Now this is a special magic thing that you've conjured up.
Could have, yeah. So I did actually come prepared. Of course, I've got 2 tricks. I'm the magician.
Oh, okay,
damn it.
okay.
So 2 cards, right?
Yep.
Simple as that. I will take 1 card out. I will place it like that. Yep.
Yep.
I'll place that card like that. What card was that again?
That is a 7 of something.
Oh, it's actually blank.
Whoa!
But look, there's nothing there. But the question is, where's the other 7?
I picked a 7 earlier.
Yes, you did. And the question is, where's the other 7? It's on the back.
Oh! that was clever. That was clever. I like that.
Yeah, sorry, the lighting was quite bad, so you couldn't really see the.
Well, good thing we got the second trick because it totally wowed us and the fans here of the Paranormal Podcast.
So yeah, I do apologize if that was
But we saw it, and that's it. Or we got another one?
I've only got 2 with me. I only designed
Okay,
2.
we got 2. So as he's doing that, I'm going to zoom back out,
And I will set my camera back up.
and I will show. It's story time.
With Canada Dry, baby. There we go.
Now, today we are talking about the Blackbird of Chernobyl. And if you haven't heard of the Blackbird of Chernobyl, I haven't heard of it either. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of Chernobyl, but not the Blackbird of Chernobyl.
Chernobyl, for those who don't know, it is actually in the Ukraine. It's not in Russia.
Right.
The Ukraine was part of Russia at the time when this went down. But so Ukraine has always struggled. It had some problems with Germany in World War II, and but it ended up back under Russian territory. And in 1972 to 83, to 86, sorry, there were 4 reactors that were built in Chernobyl, and these reactors were working fine for 15 years. The people of Chernobyl and the people of Russia and Ukraine all enjoyed the power that was being used from these plants. Now, something happened around 1986 when employees started complaining of a strange shadowy figure that would be watching them during their graveyard shifts. They would see it near the outer fences, and they could see it watching them as they left home in the morning. A female employee saw a strange creature near the parking lot, and so she reported it to the security office. And she said that while she was getting out of her car, she was walking by the trees, and she heard some rustling. And she looked up and she saw these big glowing red eyes. And she heard a hiss and a shriek, and this big black shadowy figure flew out of the tree. Now, other people started saying they seen it as well. So others came forward saying that they saw this creature flying around the towers, around the cooling towers.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be seen for a while, and then it would give a shriek and it would fly away. And one of the guys, he said as he was driving home, it swooped down and came in front of his car, and he had to swerve out of the way, and he almost hit the thing.
Can you imagine how creepy that actually is? So you're just driving and just something just like goes boom straight there.
So we're going to give you a picture of this because I've described it a little bit. With it's got curved talons, sharp teeth, and red eyes, and gives a shriek as it disappears. So I'm just gonna show you a picture that we found online. It's just so it looks like something straight out of hell.
Yeah, especially them eyes. Them eyes really, you can just like drawn into them.
It's got the big wings. It's got almost like human legs with talons on it. So this is what the people are seeing. And so people are now starting to get bad dreams at home because of this. They're starting to wake up with night terrors. They're starting to start missing work. They start arriving late and leaving early and calling in sick. And then people start becoming ill. Like sicknesses are manifesting on them.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes out that the KGB gets involved. Now, you don't want to mess with the KGB.
Damn it.
No, you don't want to mess with KGB.
No.
So they start calling people and they say, listen, you're going to return to work and you are going to stop spreading this misinformation. I've had to do a little bit of my shitty accent. So it comes down to April 26th of 1986 that all the safety protocols were broken. They were disregarded. It was actually on a simulation for loss of power, what you do kind of thing, and they didn't do anything right. So the core was running at half power for 10 hours, and it became choked up with xenon. I don't know what xenon is, but apparently this is what it was. And so they broken arm and my mic falls over. So they cut power to because it was no power to the core, and that wasn't good for the test. So they ordered all the boron control rods to be removed. Now the control boron rods keep the temperature down.
Mm-hmm.
And so removing the boron is asking for trouble. And the other thing they did was they stopped pouring coolant into the coolant tower. And this caused a huge reaction. And the engineers panicked and they immediately reinserted the rods, the boron rods. But the problem is that the tip of the boron rods had graphite in it.
Oh, dear.
And so the fact that it had graphite in it caused the core to skyrocket to unusually high levels. And then eventually it caused the explosion. Now, after this explosion went off, the military began sending in rescuers, firemen and stuff like that, who were going in knowing that they were going to get radiation. And they were also sending in the military, who people were going in and they're risking their lives because if they didn't contain these radioactive fires,
Yep.
then millions of people were going to die. So it was really important. So they were bringing in airplanes and choppers with boron, sand, and clay to dump into the nuclear reactors to put out some of these fires. So Sergeant Valery Sermanov, I'm sure I'm saying this right, and so he looked down at the destruction as he was about to throw sacks of sand and chemicals into the fire from his chopper. But all of a sudden, the chopper veered strong to the left, and he went flying to the other side of the chopper and banged his head. And he was checking for blood and damage, just kind of checking in, but then he was mad. So he stormed into the cockpit of the helicopter, and he was about to yell at the two flight men, and they had panic on their faces. He recognized that right away. So instead of yelling at them and giving them shit, he's like, what's going on? And they just pointed out the window, and there was the Blackbird of Chernobyl flying in the midst of the smoke and the debris.
Yeah.
Now this creature looks straight from hell. So with that, I'm going to make the tag.
Thank you very much. I have the tag. So obviously, I'll start off with the helicopter things. Now, according to reports, helicopter pilots, a total of 6, would sadly pass away from radioactive poisoning. So that was quite a little surprising thing.
Benji comments, glad to see the magician show a couple tricks.
Glad you can enjoy it, Benji. I'm sorry if it wasn't up to anybody's standard, but you know.
It was great. It was great. You did a good job.
No worries. But yeah, so apparently a total of 6 would die from radioactive poisoning, but this is because the planes that they were using didn't have much protection. They were like your typical planes and stuff like that. Now, within days of obviously this Chernobyl, obviously is the big disaster. I'm sure a lot of people know of it. It was clear that a lot of people witnessed some sort of thing like tormenting them, which you obviously mentioned, like a big shadowy figure.
George Penning mentions it's sad that you can't say "get to the chopper" if you're already in the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. That was much better than your last time.
Now, military would obviously receive reports that a large winged entity was circling the area, weaving in and out, and in the smoke, and obviously flying over people's heads. So this thing's like there, if you know what I mean. Even though this big disaster's happened, it's there. It's making its presence known, but a lot of people can't figure out why. That is true.
Benji says, I believe there's a lot of weird things to come out of Chernobyl.
Yes, there is. Now, according to, again, many reports, there's no image of this actual entity. There's no image. There's no proof is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, just artist depictions of what people say they saw.
Yeah. But 8 months after building a barrier around the area, a revelation will come back. And obviously this is how the name came, as the Blackbird. So it took a whole 8 months after this old disaster for people to actually name this thing known as the Blackbird. Now, because of obviously the high number of reports, they say that something must have happened for this to become true. Do you know what I mean? If somebody like says 3 reports, you'd brush it off. But because of the high level, and when I say high level, we're talking 300-400 people. That's just a guess. So for this obviously to become like a myth, so there's got to be some truth to it, is what people are saying. Yeah. What are you drinking there?
I have someone who's not sponsoring our show, Lipton Brisk Iced Tea.
Ooh, in a can.
They want to sponsor. We will gladly advertise you every single week on Wrestling with the Paranormal.
Of course. Now, the interesting thing is with this is this, obviously, Blackbird has got some very similar features to something known as the Mothman. Now, I do believe you've actually you've covered this on a previous episode.
Yes, we've covered that, and it's kind of similar. That we were talking about how people saw the Blackbird previous to the explosion, and people were having nightmares.
So when we say similarities, we mean literally side by side. You probably think they're the same thing.
Unfortunately, we don't have another picture of the Mothman, but they both have wings. So
they're both very tall.
Let's show the picture again because it looks like it's straight from hell.
Them eyes really creep me out.
Well, the red eyes were reported. They purposely, the artist blacked it out because you can't really imagine. It leaves it more to the imagination this way. Just straight from hell, like.
Yeah. So I want your opinion on this next thing. So there's two rumors as to why the Blackbird was obviously there. So the first one is led to believe that it was warning people of danger.
I don't believe that one.
Or interpret, made its presence known to know that they wouldn't survive.
I believe that he's part of a curse.
Really? Interesting. What makes you think that one?
Well, everyone's having nightmares. Obviously, this is doing some damage. This nuclear stuff is doing some damage to the environment.
It's also the surrounding area, I believe, as well.
Yeah. So I'm like, that area, Chernobyl had a lot of problems. World War II. The Jewish people in that area, they were, Hitler gave them a hard time, to say the least.
That's an understatement of the year.
Yeah, understatement of the year. Hitler just gave him a hard time. Guys. Yeah, I'm not going to even comment on that.
But the surprising thing is that's not the only thing what apparently goes off at Chernobyl. Now, apparently there's mystery figures which have been seen in the area, but when people go to approach them, they vanish. I believe, in my honest opinion, I think these are the spirits of the people who've passed away.
Yeah, there was a traumatic way to die.
Oh, absolutely.
Or as we discussed in previous episodes, that it's not actually a ghost at all, but
Really?
a phantom recording of the traumatic events.
That is a big possibility. I mean, now I'm going to fast forward to 1997. So that's when
we're going to talk about the Montreal Screwjob again.
Damn it! Now, apparently, a team of physicists were able to go into the area, and they were looking the effects of the safeguarding and stuff like that. Now, Andrea Kirschkopf, and I do apologize if I've said that wrong.
Just want to see Benji's theory here. Maybe the fumes from the chemicals were slowly killing people, and when they were close to death, they would see the Blackbird sort of like a grim reaper. That's an interesting thought.
That's a very interesting thought. I kind of
the people in the airplane saw it that way. They were going to die.
There you go. So Andrea Kirschkopf. Now, obviously, he was looking at the exterior of the building, and he could hear sounds, people screaming, people saying help, usual stuff. Now, obviously, at the time, they were had soldiers with them, showing them around and stuff like that, protection and stuff. But apparently, when the soldier went to investigate with him, they couldn't hear anything.
I think this Blackbird's messing with them.
I think it is as well. I really do. I'm just making sure I've got anything else on it. Now, they've got one last piece of thing on this, actually. It's apparently before this big, massive explosion, there was actually a leakage in the plant, which caused a lot of people to like mess with the mind, including like dream and like nightmare stuff. I don't think this is plausible, but is it? What do you reckon with that?
The chemicals were causing people to have bad dreams?
Like mess with the mind is the best way we could put that.
Well, I think that you could always have mass hysteria. You know, if one person's report seeing this and it gets spread around, other people saying they've seen it, but they didn't see it. Sometimes, you know, they just want to say, I saw it. You know, I saw it too. You're like, no, you didn't. Liar. But it's getting spread around. And so, you know, people are believing it to be true, whether it was seen or not. You know, stuff like that can cause nightmares, I think.
Yeah, I think the problem is, I think Benji said it best in the comments. I think there's so much going off at Chernobyl, even like more than what we've covered today. We'll never really fully understand the whole story, to be honest. I think that's probably a great little thing to end on.
It was like one of the greatest tragedies that ever happened.
It's an accidental tragedy as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's... So obviously, I'll get onto theories. I think we'll just cover one there. People think that it's messing with the mind. The other one is that they just think it's a typical urban legend. Do you know what people make up? Which I don't agree with this one.
Oh. Caw, caw. I don't know why he's saying that.
I nearly choked on that then. Oh, dear. But yeah, that's pretty much everything.
It's very similar to the Mothman, and people say that the Mothman was there because of a curse by the Indians. This could have been a curse as well.
Do you think these two stories are connected then?
No, I don't think they're connected. I think they're similar, but I don't think like the bridge crashing was also proven as they really made it a shitty bridge. They really did.
Yeah.
So obviously there was greed involved where they were cutting costs, and maybe I don't know, maybe the Blackbird was messing with people's minds enough to have this mistake. I don't know.
But also, this has apparently also been covered up by the local authorities in some way.
Yeah, we didn't get the full details on this because it was owned by communist territory, right?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
So,
well, shall we get on to our knowledge is power on this?
Yeah, come on back, George. I've got mine ready. So I can go first if you want. I can take the bullet on this.
You can take the board on this one because I'm kind of struggling a little bit here.
Okay, I'll go first.
When George gets in.
George wants to come back. We'll play the graphic, and while we're waiting for him to come back. So, children, I just want to speak to you out there in TV land. Maybe your mother makes you a sandwich and you don't want to eat it. But try it, because maybe this will be your favorite sandwich for the rest of your life. And you'll have an empty plate because you enjoyed your peanut butter and pickle sandwich. Try new things, kids. Who wants to go next?
I thought, well, that's kind of took me off guard. Go on. I'm going to keep I like to keep mine short and sweet, as you know. So, kids, when it comes to places where there's radiation or there's radioactive stuff, Stay away from there because you never know. There may be a blackbird in the sky watching.
And how do they know if it's radiation? Do they maybe taste it to find out?
Oh, you'll know. It's one of them. You'll know.
Go ahead, George.
Now remember, kids, there are bad drugs everywhere. So do not think you can go to Chernobyl and think you can get on the good drugs just because you thought you seen the blackbird in the sky. All drugs are bad. Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs and eat peanut butter and pickle sandwiches. Well, everyone, that is pretty much our show. We have tomorrow. We have I guess Liam has got to do the magic of wrestling with. Is it Graham? Joe Graham?
It is. So tomorrow's show obviously will be a pre-recorded one, as I am obviously away. But I said it will be dropped at the normal time. You can go and watch it as you always will. More than welcome to. Then, of course, don't forget what's happening Sunday.
We have a round table with yourself and Mr. Isaacs and myself and JFB, and we're going to be talking about the Monday Night Wars.
And
hey, look at this! It's Fruitcat! He made a cameo appearance. This show has everything. This show has everything.
Yo.
He made it at the end of the show.
That is brilliant. Fruitcat just made a little appearance there.
Fruitcat made a cameo. That's awesome.
Hell yeah, we just got 10,000 more views from that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, so tell them where we can get all our stuff and promote the shit out of everything.
Okay, so you can head to fnwrestling.com. You can obviously find all our social medias on there. We've got loads of stories on there. AFW has recently started, so I think it's a bit late for him to join now. Or
you can still join. You will be a behind in the point race.
There you go. So obviously all the information is on there. We've got two amazing GMs there, by the way. We've got obviously Dallas. We've got Benji. Did I also mention we've got a Pro Wrestling Tee store? You can head to prowrestlingtees.com/FM Wrestling. Buy yourself a Wrestling with a Paranormal shirt, a Magic of Wrestling shirt, and all FM Wrestling shirt. We've got loads of shirts, haven't we? We've got a new one as well.
We've got shirts up our asses.
We've also got a new one, which is a great one to go check it out. And that's pretty much everything for me.
So remember, keep on wrestling with the paranormal.
And remember, have your cat spayed or neutered. Help control the pet population.
I don't have a song.
Wait, what?
Should I sing a rerun?
Yes, do it.
Do it.
Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. They got those old belt buckles and pickup trucks, and I don't know, let them be doctors and lawyers and such. And I don't remember the words, so we're going to say, keep on. No, what is it? What are we supposed to say? Remember, just keep
fighting.
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 Fighting.